Hi, and welcome back to another fun tour of San Jose. I figured since I was in San Jose, I would want to film a few things around town, like this nice sign up here with the missing letters. It's lovely. While I was eating my dinner, I was so fortunate to have the accompaniment of a person walking in, asking for money. It was lovely. Graffiti. Yep. Well, that's not graffiti, actually. But I've been seeing quite a bit of graffiti and fine gentlemen walking around. It's quite interesting. The thing about San Jose I find quite interesting is it's almost like there's like old money people around that have had their houses for years, and then there's these new young folks who come into town and rip everything down and buy the house for millions of dollars and gentrify it or whatever. This part of town seems to be largely Asian. The other parts are more Hispanic. It kind of runs in all different directions. And the genius politicians that run this state have these great ideas to let people out of jail early, lighten up on crime sentencing, get rid of things like bail so people get right out of jail right away, so they can commit more crimes and make people's lives even more wonderful. It's just great. This is actually a nicer part of town. This is a road called Capitol Expressway. I've driven this many times over the years. I've been up here many times, and there's a nice, homeless camp over there. I guess it's a great place for it to be, in the river bottom or whatever that is, a little canal. I don't know if I'm going to get to downtown area, but there's plenty to look at everywhere you go. You can look in just about any city in the state of California, and there's homeless people. I don't know why people think that's so shocking with those kind of laws. Hey, let's make all the people buy solar panels. Make it mandated so it's included with the price of a new home. Let's make everyone, even if they can't afford it, buy an energy efficient roof and a low NOx water heater, low NOx air conditioner when it goes out. And I just am so baffled why there's so many homeless people in the state. I just can't figure it out. I gotta tell you guys, these guys are absolute geniuses. And of course they do things like lower interest rates to zero during the pandemic so that everybody can refinance their home, get cash out, go out and buy a Airbnb, and then create all these vacancies. It's wonderful. Then what happens? The rent all goes up. And everybody's shocked about this. Just cracks me up. So there isn't much to see on this road. Of course, we're going to turn off of it in a little bit. But I got to get myself back into the part of town where things are really exciting. You know, I went out to dinner and I really couldn't believe how much it was. It was 30-40% higher than it was last time. And I haven't done that in years, so it's just gone up so much because of that. Coffee lovers and sandwiches. I got coffee there this morning and it was pretty good. Star Pukes, I stay away from that place. Well, I gotta tell you, that looks pretty inviting there. The Kickin' Crab. Looks nice, actually. Well, I gotta tell you, the entire Bay Area, no matter where you are, there's fellers walking around. It's quite interesting. Asking for things like change or some money to get on the bus. You know, it's wonderful. Had a little conversation with a guy out here. He said, really, I'm so sick of the price of hamburgers. They've gone up to like $20. And I said, you know, that $20 an hour thing sure is interesting. And he goes, oh, I'm all for that. My answer was, you know, those two things kind of go hand in hand. It's so funny that people don't understand that wages create price hikes. When you have price hikes in wages, you have price hikes on the shelf. It's not hard to understand. I don't understand why people are in denial of that. It just cracks me up out here. Well, I think in this neighborhood they got it all figured out. Just get lots of families in one home. Great idea. Especially since everything's so affordable around here. I really don't know how anybody can afford anything out here. In fact, with this giant separation of class they have here, you have to get out and sell flowers on the weekend. Lovely. What is going on there? That was interesting. It looks like somebody stole a pallet jack and was taking a outboard motor on it. So again, an outboard motor sitting on a pallet jack. wonder if somebody just jacked that thing and just left it there because it was too heavy. Quite interesting. Well, I got to tell you guys, this is actually probably the nicer part of town. I was in the part with the little bitty tiny houses, and it was quite interesting. Maybe I'll try and find that part again. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. Obviously, the sun is going down. But I wanted to film a bit of this while I go through town and talk to you about the lovely things in the government. Oh, some graffiti on that wall. Quite nice. I know some guy says, "Hey, why are you filming all the graffiti?" I'm like, I didn't put it there. I just filmed it. It's there. And then another guy says, "Hey, there's not really bad crime in town." I'm like, is graffiti crime? Yes. Last time I checked, it's a crime. And yeah, when there's graffiti, there's crime. Nope, no graffiti on that building. Nothing. And a homeless camp out front. It's lovely. Yeah, we're getting towards those smaller homes. Quite chickily, I would say. The high-grade, high-pitched roofs, all that stuff. I have no idea how much rents are here, but God, I certainly wouldn't want to pay for a duplex out here. Yikes. And it's so weird. You go down neighborhoods, and there's like some not so nice neighborhoods, and then there's all of a sudden a beautiful home in them. And it's because the real estate's so, oh my gosh, stuff in the yard. Very interesting. But yeah, you go through neighborhoods and you just see all different like types of things. It's so hit and miss. I mean, if you kind of go through here, these are like the 50s style homes. So yeah, I mean, you'd think this was a really cheap neighborhood. No, it is not cheap. Nothing is cheap here. And it's so weird. What is with the bushes out front? Maybe they take them, I guess. They do that a little bit different here, I suppose. I guess that way you can't put the wrong thing in your trash can, so they have to scoop it up and put it in the trash. That's an idea. But if you look at how many cars are on the streets, there's a lot of cars in these neighborhoods. I mean, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one in the yard. Hey, gotta tell me, you guys, what do you guys think? Do you think it's possible that they have multiple families in one home jammed in there? I mean, how else would you be able to pay that kind of rent? I really don't know how people survive here. It's so expensive. And, you know, a lot of that has to do with the government. So that's why I make these videos. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Motorhome. Man, how do you even find room to park it? No, I thought Riverside and San Bernardino were congested, but my goodness. I mean, the driveways are full, and the streets, and the yards full of cars. So it just has to be more than one family. How could you have that many cars in one home? I don't know. So, yeah, that's San Jose. Quite interesting. Beautiful town. A lot of problems. Well, you guys, that's quite a scene. Interesting. This guy's got a mask on, just walking down the street. Roads are quite interesting too. They have the biggest bike lane on the face of the earth. It's quite inviting. In fact, it's a little hard to navigate when you're driving around here. I don't know. I guess these guys are just going to the grocery store, doing a little exercise along the way. And I'm certain that there's no problem with drug addiction around here at all. Nothing. As there is in every place in California. You know, get rid of all the mental health facilities and just put them on the streets. And this is what you have. Somewhere not too far from here, some guy was mad because they got caught stealing at Home Depot and burned the place to the ground. Lovely. You can look that up. It happened like about last year from the time this video is uploaded. In fact, I don't think I'm too far away from it. It's a crazy with as much money as in this city and all the things that are here that this is mismanaged like this. It's quite interesting. I mean, I gotta say, there's a lot of lovely things around town. There's a Kelly Park back there I just passed. Well, this is part of it too, I think. Really nice. Pretty cool looking. Yeah. There's a lot of great things in here. I'm not saying all negative stuff. There's a lot of money here. There's a lot of really nice homes. But this separation of class is kind of irritating. And I just, I feel for the poor. I really do. And people go, oh, well, you're bagging the poor. It's like, no, I'm bagging the government and how the people vote here that contribute to that. So, yeah, next time you look at your ballot, maybe you shouldn't vote for those guys that say they're doing all the right things when they're not. And this poor guy's business has to fence the entire thing in so it doesn't go away when he's out of town or he's closed. No, there's no graffiti around here at all. Absolutely none. I know, I just love the new law that just got passed. $6.4 billion in bonds to help the homeless and mental health problem. I've got a better idea. Enforce the law and make laws that make things that make people accountable. $6.4 billion in bonds. What does that mean? That means bonds have interest. And say it's probably going to be double that, you guys. That's $400 per person for the state of California, roughly. Men, women, children, homeless people, $400. Cough it up now. Well, we'll just tax the rich for it. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. You think you're going to get that much money out of a rich person? Nope. Look at that. Somebody stole the wheels off of that one. Oh, and that looks pretty stolen too, the one next to it. Yikes. Crime-free San Jose. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. And this is not the bad part of town, really. Guy was talking to me about $20 burgers. Hey, guess what? There's a place over here, 5 burgers for $10. Come on now, dude. That's because they don't have 50 employees. So they don't have to pay them $20 an hour. Lovely street living in the motorhome. Love it. Seemed to be a big trend around here in the Bay Area. I've seen tons of it, actually. Let's go down a random street and see what's down here. I have no idea. A couple of nice looking young people walking the dog. Seems like decent homes. Definitely not as many cars on the street, but quite a few, actually. I mean, when the garage turns into a living space, I guess you got to park on the street, right? That's usually what happens. Love that. All right. Got a 4x4 with skateboard wheels on it. It's quite interesting, though. There's so many cars. It's kind of like the beach cities or something like that. You kind of understand that at the beach. But out here, and this seems like a regular, normal neighborhood. It doesn't seem very great for people to have to live that many people in one home. It's quite interesting. Well, it just seems a bit interesting. A lot of different walks of life walking around. And interesting architecture around randomly. I thought you guys would enjoy some of this stuff here and drive some of the neighborhoods. These are just regular neighborhoods, you guys. What the heck is that? A boat trailer in the yard. Interesting. Huh. God, just the sheer amount of cars is just, man. That is a lot. It just makes it hard for me to believe. Tell me what you guys think, because I can't make assumptions, really. It just seems like that is a lot of cars. Like, it just smells to me like a lot more than one family living in that house. Or maybe everybody has a car, the kids, the mother, father. I mean, everybody probably has to work to pay the bills, and then you got the local liquor store up the street, and he's got a 24 pack on his shoulder, 30 pack. Nice. It is Saturday. Some of these are duplexes and apartments. So yeah, you can see why there's so many cars, but man, there's a lot of cars. So there's a lot of houses like this. I mean, there's some really nice homes up in the areas. There's nicer areas of town, but see, there's that big old home right next to all these because it's so expensive here. Man, I don't understand how people can go out to eat out here either because it's so expensive. Man, yeah, well, I guess if you're sharing rent with a ton of other people, I guess it's possible then. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Share your thoughts on that, guys. I'd like to hear what you have to say about whether you think it's more than one family living in those homes, and if maybe that's why they can afford to go out to eat. Because otherwise, I really don't see how they could do it, to be honest. What is that over there? Quite interesting. Some kind of muffler shop. Some kind of clothing place. That guy forgot the lawnmower, but that's okay. Then you have this kind of thing here. What the hell? Wow. I think that's everything they own right there in that car. Quite lovely. And there's just cars everywhere still. Yeah, I think we're heading towards downtown. So I'm certain that's absolutely safe, especially on a Saturday night. It's probably great. I don't know what it's going to be like by the time we get down there, but I figured I would take you guys along for part of this at least and see what's out here. Wow. All those cars. I guess those are apartments. My guess is they don't have parking. But the sheer amount of cars is sure something else. And just random homeless camps everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of them. I haven't driven over in those areas where they're at, but it's really quite interesting. Quite interesting, actually. Let's go down this way. See what's going on down here. House of Pizza. Probably good. I think somebody's living in that one, and this is high class living here. And I don't know what that is. Is it a mall? Administrative offices. So yeah, this is the downtown area. On a Saturday night, it ought to be pretty hip and cruising. So there's a lot of stuff going on down here. The Hyatt Place, a lot of people walking. I've actually worked on this road before, but I've also seen some homeless activity along here before too. Yeah, it's really nice. And you got the Adobe corporate plaza down here. There's a lot of tech places around. And you know, just so you know, they don't have to pay the $20 an hour minimum wage if they have a food place in there. You know that? So their belief of that raising minimum wage doesn't cause inflation, you know, that gets reinforced because their food didn't go up in price. Makes sense to me. Lots of foot traffic going on. Quite interesting. Don't know what all these buildings are. Well, that one's Zoom. Oh, okay. Yeah, we know all about that from the pandemic. And Deloitte. They're a big, I think it's real estate company. I can't remember. This is the lovely downtown. It's actually very nice. Doesn't look unsafe really right now, but I'm sure like between midnight and 4 is when all the interesting stuff happens. So the downtown area is quite nice and quite hip and stuff like that, but the like I said, the separation of class. You know, you have all these like super poor people all shoved in the same areas. It's quite disheartening, actually. Well, back there seems to be the new money, and this is more the old money, right? So in the old money areas, you start to see a little more action, I want to say. Quite interesting. Quite a lot of fellers walking around with backpacks on, you know, hoodies and such. Kind of makes me question my surroundings. Situational awareness, guys. Situational awareness. Always look around for those sort of things. If you're walking around oblivious, you might be obliviated. I mean, this thing has to be city money right here. That's my guess. Well, the lowriders are kind of cool. They got their little spot there. Don't see much closed up downtown, which is a good sign. But I still can't figure out how people pay their rents around here. Note the backpack. You know, that's just something to be concerned about, guys. I can't tell you what their intentions are, but whenever I see backpacks, it gets me thinking about some things. Lots of those interesting fellers around too. So I think the situation is getting a little worse as we go. Like I said, come out here around between midnight and 4, and I bet this whole part of town changes. Well, anyway, we saw a lot of lovely stuff in San Jose, and we saw some, you know, not so lovely stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just a little city tour. That's interesting. Yeah, really not too bad. Some areas, of course, other areas are a little sketchy, but in all, it's a city. And oh, there's a motorhome over there parked. Well, it looks like to me like the city or whatever pushed a lot of the homeless out into the more rural areas where we've already been, and that seems to be the way things are going in a lot of places. They try and make the public not see it, and then, but it's still there, okay, without dealing with the problem. Push them away, put them in the river bottoms, you know, pretend we don't see them, and they're still there, guys. So anyway, yeah, fun little tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Doing this sort of thing out here too with the food. I don't know about that, guys.